Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to Ziggyair. Today's a kind of a cloudy, hazy day here in North Philadelphia, and we are heading to Teterboro, the ultimate general aviation hub, because we are going to watch the game, watch the ultimate uh, uh, World Cup Final. We're gonna watch the game between Argentina and Spain, and it has been a great World Cup. And we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk a little bit about our flight plan here, which is from North Philadelphia Airport. We're going to grab a couple of VORs here, ARD and COL, and finally on the TEB VOR. We're going to stay below the class Bravo airspace here of JFK, and this is Newark, and right into Teterboro, and also staying away from LaGuardia. So that's our flight plan. We got showers to our west, but it's hazy because of the Canadian fires, my friend. I'm here in the northeast, and it's still affected, so if my voice is a little bit raspy and all of that, it's because of that. All right, let's not diddle daddle here, or make any more excuses, and let's get right into the Baron, get it started, and let's get going. Not gonna use any ATC because every time I fly with ATC, they kind of reroute me. They don't like Teterboro. Every time I'm lined up, and all of a sudden it's just we gotta bring you around. I don't know. I don't like it. So we are going to be using. Just gonna fly VOR. I'm sorry. VOR, but mainly VFR. So we're gonna use the regular KX 155B, and we'll get rid of the 750, and let's make sure we have enough fuel here, and we do. So we're gonna get it started, and then we're gonna talk about football. Let's get the battery on. There we go. Good right engine start. And let's do the same thing for the left engine. See, good start on that left engine. Like warm up the oil, although it's 90 degrees. So we're gonna turn on the AC here. Blower to high, and aviation master goes on, prop sync goes on, and we are fully started here. So we don't have any marshals. Yeah, we got one, so I'm gonna get rid of those, and we're taking off from runway 24 here in North Philly. So let's taxi out to that. Let's talk about football, my friends. It's been a great, fantastic World Cup, so can't complain. All right, let's turn on our taxi lights here. No need for pitot heat. Temperature is going down quickly, so all right, we'll take Alpha here across runway 35. We're gonna chop this guy here, and and then take a left. I believe that is Bravo. Winds are calm. We are calm, although excited about this game. France and England are playing for the third spot there, but Argentina and Spain, that's Charlie here. We're going to take a left on Charlie. Argentina and Spain again. Argentina pulling a New England Patriots type of game again. And I was actually writing in my social media that they're done. Messi is done. Bye-bye, Messi, and all that. And all of a sudden, he didn't score. But, boy, he put a cross there. And great game. Anyway, before we do that, before we talk about the game, yeah, we want to always kind of highlight Operation Pause and Props here. And that is the Liberty Humane Society in Jersey City, a very low cost wellness clinics. They run that across the city and have a great adoption network there. It's actually right next to the stadium gates in Jersey City. So, pretty. So if you're in the area and you're just after the game or whatever, or your team is getting beaten really bad, you can just go out next door, get your best co-pilot, and forget about your old troubles in the game. But we're gonna take a right over here on golf. And so yeah, so it's, even if you're not in the area, it's really good to know what these cities around the world are doing to save lives and promote pet adoptions there. So that is the Liberty Humane Society of Jersey City. And we also support organizations like Pilots to the Rescue. And we've talked about Pilots to the Rescue in our channel many times. So give them your support, and give Ziggyair your support, my friends. We're trying to grow our channel. We're trying to save lives. We're trying to promote the pet adoption. And your like and subscription will go a long way. If you're not a subscriber, it will help us out, continue to grow our channel and to continue to promote saving lives and adopting pet adoption. So we really appreciate that. So let's get going here with making sure that we are taxiing into the correct runway here and not get too distracted in what we're talking about, what we are feeling about the game. We'll talk a little bit about the controversies, not too much. Actually, it's been a fantastic World Cup. Always, you always get teams complaining about the refs. Take Juliet over here. And, yeah, I think that FIFA can improve and learn from this World Cup about what they can do in terms of the VAR and some of the tweaking that they can do. And I'll have my own opinions about that. If you have, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? What some of the changes or improvement they can make here on the game in terms of the referee, in terms of the VAR. So I only have one complaint and one suggestion for FIFA if they wish to listen to me, which they probably won't, but I'm sure many people have the same thought. And we're going to cross runway 24 over here. I'll make sure that there's no traffic. There shouldn't be any traffic here coming in or out at this point on this runway. So cross that, and line up on runway 24. Yeah, there's really not much going on here in North Philly, and I'm a little bit surprised because we have a lot of traffic going into Teterboro today. You know, and people flying into the area for the game. It's always busy at Teterboro, my friends. Always very busy for general aviation. So got 87, still 87 degrees here. I don't know if we're gonna get this AC. Sometimes really needs you to go faster so it generates cool air, but it's just a horrible looking day here with the Canadian fires making a mess at the visibility here. So I'll make sure that we stay on the VOR tracks here. We are heading for ARD VOR, which is going to be 036. So first of all, let's make sure we got our bugs for 240. And there we go. And weather radar is on. Should have been off, but that's all right. Let's turn on our landing lights, turn off our taxi lights, turn on our nav lights here. Everything goes on. Everything looks good. We're gonna put a set of flaps here. Weather radar is on. All right, so let's turn off the AC for now. And let's get going. All right, so yeah, Teterboro, always a great airport. We're gonna be landing on runway 19 there. I'm gonna use the ILS because, like I was saying, this really, we got some weather, but we got the Canadian fires here messing up our visibility here. All right, let's bring our throttles all the way up. We're looking for V172 knots rotating speed. We got a little bit of a wind component to the left. 72 V1 rotate. All right, got positive rate. Here is up. I'm gonna trim our aircraft for about 15 degrees. And let's go ahead and tune to the ADR VOR. Frequency is 10820. We're gonna set that over there. We pick it up 11 miles, so let's hit the nav button here. And we are at 3,000. That's our cruising altitude for the moment. See all this haze? It's bad. Anyway, so 3,000 feet cruising altitude. Let's go ahead and turn off our landing lights. Let's bring the throttle back just a bit. You can they go up in the trays and pull out their tablets and make their bets, whatever they want to do. All right. Yeah, it's gonna be an Hispanic final here. Spain, Argentina, Europe versus the Americas. Take your pick. I know I'm going with Spain. and there's a couple of reasons. I mean, Argentina is a good team. Um, they have their stars, Messi, and but I think Spain has a better team. Spain has a more cohesive team. They don't have all these stars. They don't have a particular one that is, out there that people are saying, "Wow, that's a star." But I think their team, they work well with each other. They have a good manager there, which is has a good technical approach to the game. They're not quite the tiki-taki team that we've seen in the past, but they have a combination. They can be very explosive. They can be very defensive team. All right, let's set our course to 096 now that we are clear of the VOR, and 096, and let's go ahead and do that. Sometimes I lose the nav here. 096, let's go. Go. All right, it's gonna be a short flight, so but we have enough time to talk about it. So as I was saying, Spain, it is my favorite. Like I was saying, they can be, they can be explosive when they want to be, but they can be very defensive team. They can have a kind of a technical approach to the game. Their players seem to jive with each other really well. So it should be a great game. Hopefully, it doesn't turn into too much of a defensive game. But Argentina can be very explosive. We've seen that. It's like the Patriots, the New England Patriots of the 2000s, where they could just be like losing by 29 points with 15 minutes left or something like that, or the equivalent of 15 minutes less for soccer, which was like 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, just score 2 goals. And yeah, so so this is actually a first time in history an individual World Cup final will be featuring the reigning UEFA European champions, Spain, going head to head with the Copa América champions there. The unbeaten Luis de la Fuente Spain enters the final on a magical record. There are 37 consecutive matches unbeaten across all competitions. So they come in, like I said, they are, let's just do a cinematic here. They're coming in and with this record, and really a fantastic approach, technically well managed team. They swept their group and knockout stages, and they did it with possession dominance. They kept the ball more than any other team in the tournament. Like I said, they were just, the team jive really well together. They know where each of them are. The passes are accurate, and yeah, great team. And then you have Argentina with Messi and their stars there. They return to the final. They're gonna be defending the title, and it's following two great games. And I just probably think, this is one of the reasons I think that the Spain was gonna take it. It's because one, I think the team is better. That's making sure that set up, and of course it's good. The team is better, but also I think Argentina, it's the level of play, and I don't know how much they have in their tank. So yeah, let's see how that goes, because they've been playing their grueling play, extra time. They had to come from behind, so 11 of their 19 goals have come in after the 75 75th minute there. So that is interesting. Like I said, that they had to come from behind so many times. So far, let's recap a little bit of how we got here. Like I said, Spain beat their favorite, France. I mean, France had, on paper, they had the stars, Dembele, Mbappe, all great scorers there. And again, with Spain, you have no, particular great stars, and also the depth of their bench in Spain. The manager can come in and change practically most of the team on the court and have a great team. So that is a really advantage that they have, the depth of their bench, in my opinion. So Spain beat France, and couple of Dani Olmo with Pedro Porro there scoring, and Mikel Oyarzabal also buried a clinical 22nd minute penalty before there to really put the end in. Again, they played a fantastic defensive game, so France just couldn't do anything. They had a couple of runs. They had a couple of exciting runs, but Spain really held them in. The goalkeeper for Spain, fantastic there, stopping a lot of those coming in. And then Argentina, again, like I said, this was a really exciting game. Not as exciting of the game before for Argentina, but this game was exciting because they were losing. England was ahead 1-0, and they came back. It was a master class, in terms of game coming back or from the deficit there. England scored on the 55th minute, and then Lionel Messi again really unlocked the English low block. England played a good defensive game there. In the final 7 minutes of the match, Argentina came back, setting a 85th minute rocket from Enzo Fernandez before serving a pinpoint. Was the magic of Messi. He didn't score, but that cross for Lautaro Martinez header there was, I think, one of the best goals of the tournament. Maybe it was the best, although Dembele's goal, there have been a couple of goals that have been fantastic, but this one was a real classic cross into a header into the net. Great goal. And that put England knocked their. You could see that in their faces and the way they played afterwards. They tried, but they were just, they were stunned. All right, let's go back here to. We need to continue to aviate. We're going to tune into the COLVOR here. Frequency is 115,400. Let's set that up. 115.4. And then our course for Teterboro is going to be 020. Let's set that. I'm going to put it on the bug here, 020. And set it here first in the heading. And then 020. Right there. I'll pick it up. We already picked it up. Pick it up in a minute here on the COLVOR. Let's go ahead and do that. Nav mode here. We're going to intersect that heading, and that's going to bring us into Teterboro. All right, so that's where we are. That's the setup we have for the game. And so there was a little bit of controversies here. Most of them, I think there's just the press making things up to kind of like have something to talk about. Frankly, there was just a couple of players from Argentina who put up the Malvinas flag. So still kind of highlighting the controversy about the Malvinas and they're still claiming the Malvinas as their part of Argentina there. And so they did put in brandish a banner reading "Las Malvinas son Argentinas," so the Falklands are Argentinian. And but that act has drawn some furious official condemnation from the British government there, and sparked a direct FIFA disciplinary investigation for violating the code there of conduct there. But who cares? They're in the finals. They're not gonna get. A lot of people are saying FIFA is favoring Argentina, so I don't think there's anything gonna come out of that. I think it's a little bit exaggerated. Not a big issue here. And then a lot of commentators on the English side, and some of the on Telemundo are blasting the tight scheduling matrix there, and due to the weather and the how it's affecting the players, and I think this is going to be an issue for Argentina. So because a lot of teams had to go the extra time there, and Argentina did, and a couple of times in the later rounds, and this, in the grueling weather, and then some of, so that some people say, oh, well, the hydration pause is like, it's messes up with the game flow and all that. But frankly, I think in this weather it should, and weather above like 90 degrees, 95 degrees Fahrenheit, it should be that high duration pause there. If you're playing in 70-degree weather and it's low humidity, don't do it. And maybe it's there should be some guidelines to the umpires saying, well, we're not going to have a hydration pause because the weather is cool and all of that. But then you get into issues about fairness and things like that. So I think the hydration pause is welcome, especially by the players. You got to protect them, and then it's kind of avoids the whole thing at the end of the game where everyone goes down and stops the game because they have cramps and all that. So I am in favor of that hydration pause there. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about the tournament? Any thoughts you have about the rules? I mean, one of the rules that I kind of disagree with, and it was a review by the VAR on corner by Norway there. So this happened, and Harlan was set up on the small area there next to the goal, and Norway took the corner and scored. It was a good corner, it was a good header, and they scored. And then the VAR came in and said, well, ref, you got to take a look at this foul that was committed by Harlan prior to the corner being made. So it wasn't a foul when the kick was made into the area. It was a foul before, and it wasn't really that much of a foul. I think the player just kind of, Harlan pushed him a little bit, and he took a tumble, and it's like, like these players always do. And then the VAR comes in and says, the ref, take a look at it. And then the ref calls in and says, okay, so we got a foul before, and the whole goal is nullified. And it's just like, why? I mean, the foul happened, a questionable foul happened prior to the kick. It didn't affect the goal. So why? Why? So that I say, if the ref doesn't call it at the time and it has nothing to do with the actual scoring or in the score, the foul or in the score, don't come back and say, oh, we're gonna take a look at it and we're gonna nullify because it was a foul there. Just it's nonsense. So that's my only issue here with the VAR. Other than that, I think that the whole thing with the VAR has been pretty good. I think I agree with making sure that they get the right calls on offsides and things like that. All right, so we are close to Teterboro. We're gonna turn into the Teterboro VOR frequency of 108.4. I'm going to see the Teterboro Airport and our approach to runway 19, and we're going to use the The localized, the ILS here 19. Let's look, let's see where we are here. So we're coming from the south. Yeah, we really need to do ILS here today because this weather, it sucks, my friends. It sucks. Let's see if let's go to spot view here. Yeah, not gonna see much. But we're gonna find out a place to eat. My favorite in New York City is Miss Korea, and we're gonna some Korean barbecue there at West 33rd Street. Highly recommend it. Great food, great place. And yeah, I can't see not seeing the stadium at all. All right, let's make sure that we're in the right heading. Let's go ahead and configure it here. Got our landing lights are on. Prop is full forward. Make sure that our passengers are set up and trays are stowed away. Seat belts are on. Beds are made. And yeah, a little bit better visibility here, but still not gonna see the stadium here. So we got 7.9, and we're gonna be turning 107 into our initial fix. 140 should be. I'm just gonna keep it there, and let's go down to 1500. So far looking good. It's actually nice not to have it to deal too much with ATC, although it provides a level of conversation here, but sometimes it's too distracting, especially if we want to talk about the game and different things. So yeah, if we're just aviating here, that's fine. Capture the glide slope. So let's bring down a set of flaps here. So we got our landing lights are on. I'm assuming that we have clearance to land. So not seeing the runway yet. Got some Jersey City over here to our left, about 4 miles from our airport. Not seeing it yet. So speed is good. Let's make sure we bring out a little bit there. Make it a 120 approach speed. And 4 miles from the airport. Quite a bit of turbulence, but my friends, this is Ziggyair. You know, Ziggyair will always get you there. There you go. Got the airport in sight. Let's bring out down our gear. And yeah, let's keep with our autopilot, because we have we got a 12 knot. It's just a headwind, so that is good. Still a little bit too high, but so I'm gonna turn off the autopilot. Looking good. Right on the center line. A little bit of harsh there, but that wind was kind of messing with us a little bit. All right. And let's take the next exit here. To our right. There we go. Well, my friends, welcome to Teterboro on this showery morning. And yeah, I think we are ready for some lunch. Oh, it's a little bit too early lunch. Maybe some brunch. All right, so landing lights go off, taxi lights go on. Let's turn off our weather radar. Flaps are up. And let's find a spot here, which is gonna be right in front of us. And hopefully we have space, because sometimes maybe we got here at the right time, because sometimes it gets really busy and you can't find a spot. But it looks like we have one right available right here, and that's where we're going. And we have a marshal here. Excellent. All right, parking brake is on. Let's shut down. Yeah, so got the tower view here at Teterboro. Like I said, it's just not looking good here today. All right, let's shut down here. We're going to turn off our taxi lights, bring our throttle all the way down. Right engine shut down. Left engine shut down. All right, lights are off. Prop sync is off. And yeah, battery is off. All systems off. Let's secure the aircraft and let's get out of here. And there we go. My friends, I hope you enjoyed this flight. You got some great information about the game, about Ziggyair, and yeah, enjoy the game, and I'll see you on the next one. And I guess it's not gonna be a next one. It's just gonna be like, you know, we'll continue our flight across the U.S. and the world, promoting pet adoptions and going into nice smaller places, flying GA aircraft and flying low and slow. So take care, my friends. Enjoy the game.